Issue 35. We start out with Porker being told that it's his turn, and reluctantly, terrifiedly talking to Eggman as he's in a cell, hoping that he slept well. It's very gutsy of the comic to bother to do this. Even in Archie, Robotnik was never put in a cell in the heroes' base. Eggman said that he had a dream about what he was going to do to him when he escaped. He says that he hopes he's going to cooperate because Sonic wants him to question him. Why would they ever bother questioning a guy who can't be trusted without making a magical lie detector? And I'm guessing the only reason the Arch is executing him, which realistic freedom fighters would do and have done, is because they're too self-righteous to make themselves feel bad with that. But it makes them look like idiots, and they're really gonna regret it. There's a rumbling sound, and Knuckles digs through the ground to annoyingly save Eggman. Way to go. Eggman grabs Porker, and Sonic calls him a professional hostage doing his business as usual, lampshading how often his friends get kidnapped as an audience surrogate. Porker shows morality, telling him not to let Eggman take the emeralds, even in exchange for him, and Sonic says, "Don't try to be a hero, Porker, it doesn't suit you." Yikes, that's especially insulting considering an especially dickish line he'll say to him later. He tells Johnny to get the emeralds. Logically, they should have made fake emeralds just in case to fool Eggman, which I'd expect smart people like Porker and Kindabor to do. Rather than Knuckles just finding Eggman from randomly digging through the ground at Emerald Hill, they bothered to explain it as Knuckles having a small implant in his skull that's tuned to the frequency of Eggman's homing device in him. In his skull? How the hell did Knuckles agree to that? If he didn't, how did he not freak out when he found out about it? Does he know about it? Remember how Archie Sonic reacted at learning from Dr. Quack that a universal translator was put in his skull? That's how Knuckles should react. Eggman gives them Porker, I guess to fool Knuckles into thinking he's fair, and Johnny says they blocked up the tunnel. Kindabor tells Sonic he's found them and they have a well-planned escape, and maybe Sonic telling Knuckles that Eggman doesn't care about him kind of got through to him, since Knuckles suspiciously asks Eggman if he's going to give the emeralds to him. Tails flies Sonic towards Eggman's escape vehicle in the tornado, and Sonic knocks their vehicle onto the floating island. But when Knuckles bursts out of it, the issue abruptly ends. Well, at least this is a better Sonic 3 adaptation than Archie had, because it bothers to last more than just one half issue. But I still haven't seen any of the zones in Sonic 3 and K. In the next story, which I guess takes place chronologically before the Sonic 3 adaptation, Sonic runs away from an exploding chemical plant zone with Tails at his side, and when Sonic's shoes land in some Mega Mech, they get attacked by it. Odd phrasing for poison there. And when Tails says he'll save Sonic, Sonic says that a supersonic spin will get him clear of the Mega Mech and spin dry his sneakers. And it works because God forbid we let Tails be useful for anything. Then they get threatened by some people trying to shoot at them, and when Tails asks what to do, Sonic tells him to run and asks lampshading, "Do I have to tell you everything? Wasn't that obvious, Pixel Brain?" As they run away from some lasers. Maybe if you didn't insult him so much, his confidence wouldn't be stunted enough to think that he has to rely on you for every decision. He calls Tails small stuff while opening a way forward and tells him to go in there, and a stray bullet hits the tube control, sending Tails to a different pipe than Sonic. Tails gets sent to right next to a robot, telling Eggman that he'll flood the zone surrounding Chemical Plant Zone with Mega Mech. Even though Tails clearly said ouch right beside him, multiple panels were wasted on me before the robot realized he was there, and Tails stupidly is still sitting there and asks where Sonic's gone when they couldn't know the answer to that. He should have just gotten up right away and run away. And the story ends in a cliffhanger. The first story was by Nigel Kitching, and it's about the interesting concept of Eggman being locked up in a cell in Sonic's base, which you'd think would make for a small story arc, but instead is immediately result in one issue. And Porker wastes time trying to get info out of a guy who could just lie or not cooperate. You know, they should have taken this opportunity to put him in a coma, but nope. Then Knuckles knows where to find Eggman because of a homing device he had on his skull. You'd think this would reveal the location of Sonic's secret base to Eggman permanently. Plus, Eggman put an implant in Knuckles' skull. Why would Knuckles agree to that from a guy he just met who has menacing black and red eyes? Living alone on an island all your life would make you much less trusting, not more. Because as psychologists have proven from studies on wild children, trust is something you learn from being with other people. So Knuckles should have just not trusted Eggman as equally as he trusts anyone else. And then Porker gets threatened to make Sonic give up the emerald to Eggman, and Sonic and Tails go after Eggman in the plane, and the story ends with them on Angel Island again, with Knuckles starting to have a little suspicion over whether Eggman will let him have the emeralds. And the second story is about Tails being separated from Sonic by a stray bullet hitting something and being sent to a different tube. And not only does the robot not notice him at first, but he stupidly doesn't run away from it at the first chance that he gets, and asks where Sonic is instead. You'd think if they were going to have him do something stupid, it'd at least be him trying to attack the robot so he looked brave and proactive. I don't know who's more unlikable and frustrating in this comic. Sonic for being a douche, or Tails for being a brainless moron that made early Archie Tails look normal. But at least with Sonic, I'm really entertained by his dialogue, and he's a genre-savvy audience surrogate lampshading a lot of stuff. Tails is almost useless here. He's like a non-cowardly Antoine. Come to think of it, Porker is a discount Antoine too, since he's cowardly. So that's something the Fleetway Freedom Fighters have over Archie. They have less quantity over quality because they basically fuse two characters into one, making their rotor have a personality. That's what the regular Freedom Fighters should have done. They should have had Antoine be the engineer rotor, because that way he would have been useful right from the start, and we wouldn't have had rotor. And we would have still had a mentor to teach Tails how to engineer stuff. Aunt Sally should have been the cyborg. We could have had Bunny just be Sally's hairdresser. But instead, like, Bunny and Rotor are kind of bland personality-wise, and yet they're freedom fighters too. They still don't discount Sally and Bunny though, unless Short Fuse counts as Bunny for being a cyberneck.